Hi guys, Big Mon D here, and it's time for the 6.82 patch, so time to take a look at the changes. And with this, we have got a massive overhaul of the map. So that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to take a look at the map. I'm not going to do what the Dota Cinema guys do. I love what they do whenever we get a patch out. They go through it in detail, and we end up with an hour-long video going over every detail, discussions on how it's going to affect the game, blah blah blah. You know the drill. I'm sure you guys have watched Dota Cinema. Everybody watches Dota Cinema. But I'm going to try and make these a little bit easy to digest. So the first video is going to be map changes, and the really major one. Will. We've got changes to Roshan. Why are you chasing me? It's a bit random. Okay, I have a creep chasing me. Okay, new bug. Creep randomly aggroes me even though I'm just standing in the river.
Absolutely. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Anyway, so the Roshan pit has changed quite significantly.
Just so.
So we've changed the angle of the steps leading down to it.
I venture your bottom tower is under
attack. Much bigger open area around here. The river leading up to it on the right seems pretty much the same, but the Roshan pit itself, essentially it's the same. Your
bottom tower is under attack.
But it's just in a different placement. I think the idea of this is to give it's so that Dire no longer has secluded access to it. Before, Dire could sneak down the steps. They were only very briefly visible before they disappeared behind the tree. It's much easier for Dire to get in. This, I think, both teams are going to be very, very exposed.
Indeed.
Coming in down here to the Roche pit. To accommodate that, we've got some significant changes around the Roche pit. We have changed the ancients. So basically the ancients and Roche have swapped places, essentially.
Your middle tower
so
is under
ancients
attack.
Up here now.
I proceed.
Pretty much the same as before. Pretty much mirroring
your middle tower is under attack.
Where the Radiant agents are almost much closer to where each are. The secret shop is in the same place, but obviously the routing around it is slightly different. Now, you may want to take a look.
Very well.
Have a couple of games to get used to the layout around here, because the layout around here has changed quite significantly.
Commendable notion.
So we've now got a lot of routing through the trees down here behind the Roche pit.
I venture forth.
Around the tier 1 tower and the tier 2 tower. So a lot of routing around here has changed. Now this could potentially be a ganking route, so we've also got a ward spot here, so you know that should help. I don't think in most pub games it's going to be used, but I can foresee mid perhaps coming up through the river. It's a really long jog, but to come round here you can get really close before you start taking. I mean, look, you can get all the way past. I mean, what a ganking route. It's a long jog, but it's an absolutely massive jog, but it gives you really free access. Really amazing gank potential there. And we have got the same on the Radiant side. You can come up here and you can't quite get as close, I don't think, before the tower aggroes you. You've got a little bit of hiding spot here, but you will get, I think you're going to get aggroed by the tower if you come there. But you can still get very close. See, Radiant got a little bit of an advantage being able to jump, but it also gives Dire a really good escape route. When they're being dived on the tower. No longer is it just a matter of running up the lane. Now we've got loads of routes through the trees there. Another significant change on both sides is that the fountain area has been increased dramatically. And I think what this is for, well obviously what this is for, is to prevent fountain farming.
We are in accord.
Obviously it's a really irritating thing in games that don't... you've got a game that should be over at 20 minutes and the other team just wants to pad their stats because they're assholes basically. They want to spend 20 minutes farming your fountain to get the amazing end game items when they could have stomped you in 20 minutes. I think that's what this is stopped. I mean, even with Puck's range, I'm not able to go that far outside the fountain, even with Puck. So it just makes it much more difficult to fountain farm now.
Just so.
So much bigger fountain area, bigger vision area, going to be much more difficult to
Exactly
farm people. So we've got another.
Indeed.
The Dire Tier 2 bottom tower has moved back slightly. I don't really know the logic in that.
Indeed.
Maybe it just wasn't balanced with the Radiant tower. But
Your bottom tower
we've got
is
a new
under
ward
attack.
spot here as well, and we've got an equivalent on
Exactly
the.
so.
We've got an equivalent on the
Your
Radiant
bottom
side.
tower is
We've now
under
got
attack.
a ward spot up on this little pedestal here.
Absolutely.
But there's been a little rework
Your
of
bottom
the
tower
pathing
is under
around
attack.
the Dire tier 2 to accommodate that.
For me.
But again, when you're trying to defend this Dire tier 2, it does give you an opportunity to see anyone potentially trying to sideswipe you again. If you place in aggressive wards, it gives you a chance to see anyone hanging around down here, preparing for defence. So, really handy change there. So most of the other changes are just small passing changes now. Rather oddly, there are a couple that I'm sure are just
Your middle tower
affect
is under
balance,
attack.
but there's one change here which I really don't like, in that
My
the
move.
Dire now have a path to get to the side shop. And now if you listen for
I
when
proceed.
the ding goes, so I can actually get to the side shop as Dire
Just so.
without revealing myself, which I think is totally unfair because they haven't made the same change
Very well.
on the other side of the map, so that's going to give Dire an advantage, I think. I've got WTF mode on, I better turn the volume down a little or I'm going to deafen you. Better.
With a left. Silence. Silence.
Much better.
Greetings. Commendable
Right, so-
notion.
That's pretty much it. They have also changed slightly.
I go
the
at will.
Dire bottom lane creeps arrive slightly closer to the tower,
I venture forth.
and the Radiant top lane creeps arrive slightly further than the tower. So again, giving another little advantage to Dire there. I'm assuming there's some stats that there are.
Indeed.
You know, Dire is being dicked on in that regard.
Silence.
So they felt they need to give them an advantage. Maybe
Very well.
it was to address the map changes, just to give a bit more balance there. I'm sure they put a lot of effort into testing that and seeing how the changes affect.
Commendable notion.
Perhaps it's to balance out that Radiant now has much easier access to their
I venture forth.
secret shop, and
What?
these
Puck out.
creeps are really.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I go at will.
Oh, I've got all vision on. Maybe that's why they're aggroing for such a long range.
Puck out. Exactly so.
Come on, creep.
With
Look around.
alacrity.
He doesn't want to leave me alone. But anyway, guys,
Here I am.
hope you found this useful. And you know, it's going to take a lot of getting used to because there's a lot of pathing changes. It's going to have a massive impact on the game, on ganks and so on.
I
so,
proceed.
You know, some excellent potential in these changes. I don't think any of them are really groundbreaking, except the Roche changing, so Dire no longer has an advantage. I do think the one significant difference with the Roshan
Just
pit,
so.
as it's not quite as enclosed as it was before. So abilities like Black Hole, Supernova,
Your bottom tower is under
Chronosphere,
attack.
they're not going to be quite as good a setup. I mean, if you're taking
My
Roche, you're
move.
still going to be in this area, but previously we had quite a big catch point
Your bottom
outside
tower
that
is
as
under
well.
attack.
Again, so perhaps taking Roche not going to be quite as risky anymore. So, guys,
Absolute-
I hope you found this useful. Next video is going to be on
Your
the
bottom tower
bounty
is under
rune.
attack.
So,
With
you know,
alacrity.
catch that by all means. You know, straight. It'll be in a playlist, so you should probably end up auto playing it anyway. But please do like the video if you found this useful, guys. Please drop me a subscribe if you want to see more. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.